Oh, it's too windy. Yay! I made it.
For those of you who don't know us yet, we are Carol and Ken, and we like touring in our little red camper, tiny Nissan MV200, built by Sussex Camper Vans. We offer tips and tricks for how to survive in such a tiny van, and also try and demonstrate just how easy it is to wild camp. Well, that was a very peaceful night. We just spent the night down here on Peel seafront at the far end of the promenade. Quite a bit of condensation this morning, didn't we, Chutney?
Yeah. Particularly cold last night, I think.
Yeah. It was chilly, but not enough to turn on the heating. So this morning we're off to do some washing, we think, in the little laundrette we found last night. Are we all ready to go? How are you feeling this morning, Charlie?
Not too bad.
Show the people your cut.
It's healing up nicely.
It's healing up nicely, innit? With that Sudocreme on it,
yeah.
And your knee.
It's got a bit of pain in my side as well.
Okie dokie. We'll take some more painkillers when we get down there.
Well, it's only when I move.
Yeah, it'll stop moving. I'm currently double parked outside, but Carol's called me back in. Where are they? Where are they? They're in the van.
In the gash bag.
In the gash bag, right? Okay. Yeah, all right. The gash bag is where we keep everything that we don't need very often. There you go, Chutney. Alright, I'm just going to be parked on the pier. Hello, listen to me. I'm going to be parked on the pier. Turn left and then right. Alright. Yeah.
Shall I wait here for the washing?
Well, no, you can come over here. It's up to you entirely. I'm going to move the car now. We're on double yellow lines. In the end, I decided this wasn't a particularly smart place to park because I could be in the way of fishermen. So that's the bedding done, all nice and aired in the tumble dryer.
Yep.
That worked a treat, I think.
Just put it on a high heat in the tumble dryer for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It smells all nice and fresh.
Nice and fresh. Gets all the moisture out of it as well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So we've been busy little bees this morning.
It's only 8:10.
Yeah. Washing's done in 19 minutes.
Yeah, the whole cycle for the wash was only 26 minutes.
So how much was it here?
What, for the washing? Well, I had used the biggest dryer they had, which is a £30 dryer, and that was £6 in money.
Quite clear.
Clear, yeah. Well, we were going to get kippers for breakfast, weren't we?
Yeah.
The £20 load was £5 in money, and a £16 load was £3 in money. Right. I think they only took Manx pounds on the washers. Wasn't too sure. Whereas the dryer, one dryer was Manx pounds, one was English pounds.
Yeah, very helpful. We're on our way now down to Fenella Beach.
Just arrived. We haven't been here all night.
Carol's saying that because there's a sign saying no overnight parking here.
Yeah, pretty little beach.
Yeah, no overnight.
Yeah, no overnight parking.
Nice seagull. There's one just nesting there on the wall. Can you see?
Oh yeah. Sorry. Oh, beautiful little place.
Yeah. Now we spent quite a long time parked up here this morning, and we got to know these two little seagulls, two youngsters, and every now and then their mother came back to feed them. Now this was a fairly major editing day for me, and so we split up, and Carol will shortly take you for a walk around the castle and then up onto the head. On this trip I tried something new. I got 5 episodes ready in quick succession, and then that meant I didn't have to do any more editing until I got home. As I came into land, I spotted this father with his daughter preparing to go snorkeling. Now that water must be blooming freezing, I would think. Now most of the people we've seen in the sea so far have been wearing wetsuits, but not these two. Looks like they're deep enough to put their flippers on now. A quick splash to prepare the body for the shock, and then they're in. The water here is beautifully clean, so I reckon they're in for a treat, and they were out for quite some time before they came back. This is only a small beach, but whilst we were here we saw so many people making use of it. Right, Carol's gone to get the washing, which she just finished, so I'm going to get the coffee on. Perhaps I could turn the gas on actually. All done?
All done. To do 2 drying cycles.
Right. Is anybody else in there?
No, nobody at all.
You had the whole place to yourself.
Yeah.
Coffee's made, it's down there.
Oh, thank you. Very nice.
You didn't notice if that cafe was open yet, did you? Opposite the laundrette?
It didn't look to be anywhere open.
No.
There's the Manx kipper place up the end. I don't know if they, you know, you can buy it and they cook it and eat it.
I doubt it. That seems a tight fit.
Yeah, but it's surprising how it all fits in. The bag just stretches. That's all my clothes.
All in that one bag.
Except for underwear, yeah.
These face cloths, probably the most important cloths we have in the van. We'd be lost without our magnets, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
The beauty of magnets is you can put things in places, and after you're done with them, there's absolutely no trace.
Underwear, and your tops.
As you can see, the weather today is absolutely glorious. Really makes you feel good to have a little bit of sun. That's the cafe we passed last night whilst walking on the harbour wall. Now Carol doesn't know I'm buying breakfast, and I don't want to buy too much in case she doesn't want any. Brought you back some breakfast.
No. I just thought we'd be hungry again after that meal last night.
Yeah, exactly. We got this little breakfast from the cafe at the end of the breakwater. It was £5 for a breakfast box. Unfortunately, it looks like I've made a right mess of mine, but it was tasty and it filled a hole. That's right to share, isn't it, Charlie?
Bargain for two.
Yep. I've got editing to do, and Carol's now going to show you around the castle.
Peel Castle normally costs £6 to get in, but they were happy to accept my English Heritage card. Hi there, just one English Heritage.
Just watch out for rabbit holes.
Okay, lovely, thank you. Just spot the little red camper out in the car park on the end. The castle was first established by the Vikings in the 11th century under the rule of King Magnus Barefoot. The castle sits on St Patrick's Isle, which is connected to the land by a causeway. To the crypt. Let's go and have a look. Ooh. This was a reliquary of St German in the 13th century. And the barrel vaulting is from the late 14th century. And it was later used as an ecclesiastical prison until the 18th century. I wonder why the lifeboat flag is flying at half-mast. And this is the curtain wall that dates from the 15th century. Lovely view of the hill from here. And the car park's really filling up now. The round tower was part of a Celtic monastery, and the battlements were added later. Let's go and look inside. Ooh. So the sign says this round tower is from the 10th to the 11th century. This is St Patrick's Chapel, which dates from the 10th century and has had some later medieval additions. You're free to roam all over the site here, but there's no information boards telling you about the history, just the dates of the buildings. So like this is a magazine from the 19th century. After the Vikings left, the site was used by the church and a cathedral was built. So this was the chapel, and there's some interesting gravestones here. This one has the remains of Reverend Edmund Violet, who was a minister on the Independent Church of St John's, Newfoundland, and he perished on this coast in 1810 on his passage to Liverpool, aged 26 years. So this is actually St German's Cathedral, dating from the 13th and 14th century. So this is the highest part of the castle you can climb up to. It's the view of the cathedral and the round tower. And the beach. Quite steep. The most famous resident is the Malverdoo, the ghost of a large black spaniel with curled shaggy hair. The phantom would often frequent the guard room and lay down in front of the fire as soon as the candles were lit. It was seen so often that the soldiers lost all fear of it. So I'm going to attempt the walk up to Corinnes Tower. Say it's a strenuous walk. We'll see how far I get. Just keeps on going, up and up. Got the towers just peeping over the top of the hill, taunting me. And look, I've got to go all the way down here just to go all the way back up again. Oh, that's not fair. Oh well, here goes. Nearly at the top of this section. Must be high up because they've got a mast here. Let's turn around and have a look at the view. Don't know if you can hear me because it's really windy here. That looks like where they're setting up for the Royal Manx show, which starts tomorrow. Google says it's another 8 minutes walk, so must be over this next hill. I hope so anyway. Okay, so this is where I've come from. This last bit is particularly steep. We're hoping for a reveal of the tower. Yay! Not far now. Here it is. Corinnes Tower. The tower was built in 1806 by Thomas Corrin and stands 4 stories high. The windows on the east side had to be blocked in because ships were mistaking the light for the breakwater light. Oh, it's too windy. Yay! I made it! Wow, what a view! Next to the tower is the graveyard where Thomas laid to rest his wife and 2 children. Their graves are marked out with pillars of stone. Some writing on the top of this monument. I'll have to look that up. Colours are just so beautiful in this heather with the yellow and purple. So I've come back a slightly different way, and wow, what a view. You can see the castle on its little island down into the town of Peel. Looks like the lifeboat's going out to sea. So the final stretch back. It's a nice gentle slope back down to the car park. Lovely views of the town and the castle. Wow, that was a really blowy walk. I feel like I've had some exercise today, so maybe I can have an ice cream later as a special treat. That'd be really nice.
Carol says this now, but every time I've offered an ice cream, she's turned me down so far.
Well, made it back. Probably a bit windswept. But let's see what's going on back at the van. Oh, peanuts. Hello.
Hey, Barney.
Have you had a nice time?
I'm always relieved to get Chutney back in the van, and she quickly regaled me of all of her adventures down in the crypt and high up next to Corinnes Tower. There's some really savage rocks here, just right by the shore. I think it's time to invest in a new Manx flag. The ducks don't seem to mind the swell. They just sit there bobbing about. I'm cooking a nice little bit of lamb this evening. So this is lamb steaks with potatoes, carrots and peas and gravy. How's your dinner, Charlie?
Delicious.
Good.
This lamb's got so much flavour.
Good.
Manx lamb.
Manx
really nice.
lamb, very tasty. It was a beautiful evening, so after we'd cleaned up from dinner, we went out for a drive and in search of somewhere to park up for the night. Well, the van hasn't moved all day, Charlie, has it?
Nope.
It's finally beginning to roll.
I have moved.
You've moved, yeah.
Been on 2 big walks today.
I haven't done very much at all.
A bit of editing.
Now, there are a lot of superstitions on the island concerning the fairies, and also something we didn't learn until we got back was Devil's Elbow. You're not supposed to speak whilst you come around that. Along this road is the site of the Manx agricultural show.
Yeah, I could see it from the top when I went for my walk today.
Quite a big show, isn't it?
Yeah, it's bigger than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully the weather's going to hold for the show, and we'll take you along with us when we go.
9 o'clock.
We're driving south along the A27 in the direction of Glen May.
Steep hill. Sharp bend at the top.
You can't beat a good hill with a sharp bend thrown in for good measure. We know all about them. This one though is nice and wide, so there's no real problems here. Coming up on the right here is St James's Church in the village of Dalby, and we'll be turning right just up here. We turned right into Niarbyl Road, which takes us down to Niarbyl Bay. Be aware that this road is very narrow and very steep, and it's not for the faint-hearted, but because the van is so small, I don't really mind taking it down here. Now I'm told the cottage on the right, just about to come into view, was used as the film location for Waking Ned. At first sight, this is a wonderful place to spend the night, but a few things put me off. It's quite slopey, and I don't know who are in these properties, and I don't really want to upset any locals. And lastly, I'm not too sure what the sea does when it finally starts hitting this wall, so we didn't end up staying here. As usual, we didn't have to go very far to find somewhere that was really suitable, but you'll learn more about that in the next episode. If you enjoyed this video, then please give us a like and hit that subscribe button for more adventures from the Little Red Camper.